Hello and welcome to our May newsletter. Gosh, I can't believe we're into May already. And it has been a month of little things just sort of happening, which is why we're just ever so slightly late. So I do apologize for sending out my newsletter a little bit late. And that's what I really wanted to talk to you about, were these unexpected events, or as I've called my newsletter this month, expect the unexpected. Because life can throw us curveballs where we trundle along our train track, life path, life road, whatever you want to call it. And we're in a rhythm and we have a pace and a time and a process going on, and everything feels really smooth. And then suddenly, it's almost like the wheel falls off the bus or the train, and we're just like, oh, okay, so what's happening now? For some people that I know, they've had quite possibly some life-changing events that have suddenly bubbled up to the surface, events that have occurred to them or around them. And these events have been very unexpected. And like most people, they're questioning, well, why has this happened? Why has this happened to me? Why is this happening now? And they can't quite fathom out the universal bigger picture here and what that bigger picture is. You have to excuse, that's my cat has just come in with our jangly collar. So it is that process of being really aware that expect the unexpected. So what do I mean by that? Being aware of the tools that you have in your personal arsenal, your professional arsenal, your spiritual and mental and physical arsenal that can help support you through these particular unexpected events, because we know a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. We have expectations around events that may not work out quite as we imagined, but they certainly are a process that once they're in our line of sight, we have to deal with it. And so the unexpected coming into your life, be it good, bad, or indifferent, will help you understand who you've become, because you may have come through an experience previously, created and gathered some tools so that when this event comes, you then know how to recreate those or reinstall, reinstigate, and reconnect to those tools that you have developed. I think as I reflect on my journey, I think I talked about in my last newsletter video how I'm doing a whole recalibration of my spine. Finally, I checked today and my spine is spot on. I'm just old, so I've got wear and tear, and that's different from the process that I've been going through in just dealing with each vertebrae and each rib, and making sure that once we get them into place, that they lock into place. But in that alignment and in dealing with my healing, some of the most unexpected issues, mental emotional issues, have come up, which have been surprising, delightful, heartwarming, and life affirming, as I have really worked through what each and every session with my chiropractor has been about. How does that reflect on me and the healing work that I've had to do? And so I've had to dig deep into my tools, my meditation tools, my affirmation tools, my own physical healing tools that I can use to get me through this process. And it's been a really amazing journey. I've really thoroughly enjoyed the journey, as much as some of it has been quite painful. But the outcome for me is the joy of going and seeing the chiropractor today and go, well, your spine is absolutely spot on. You've just got wear and tear, and that's just what life's about, and that's okay. So I want you to think about in this quiet time, because May has come in, certainly down here in New Zealand, and there is a quietness, a stillness. I think people are holding their breath. And whether that's a knock-on effect of the war in Europe, whether we call it a war or an invasion, it's the same thing. There are military vehicles being involved. People are dying unnecessarily. So are we just holding our breath, waiting to see the outcome of that? Is it that down here in the Southern Hemisphere, we're going into their winter time? So is now the time where we would normally just sit back and go into our hibernation phase. And so that stillness has come down. And this quietness in the energy is just all pervading. Everyone is talking about how it's really quiet. It's really quiet. So is that just a collective consciousness down here in the Southern Hemisphere? I know for my friends in the Northern Hemisphere, they're all waiting with bated breath for June to come in July, because in Scotland, really, that's our summer, June and July. So May, it can still be quite a cold month. It can be a bright month, but it can still feel that, like that hibernation process with the winter. But they're all waiting for the sun to appear and to lift their spirits. And so they're feeling, they're almost like waiting at the gate, waiting to get out. So there's a sense of stillness there as well. In this stillness, when unexpected events, and even maybe the stillness is an unexpected event, you've been motoring along at full tilt, and suddenly it's just like, well, whoa, what's happened? Where have all my customers gone? Where have all my clients gone? What's happening? Is this normal? What do I do? It's about coming back to self and going, okay, so I've got this quiet time. How can I prepare for my busy time? How can I stay ahead of the game? What is it that I can do in my life that prepares me for the gearing up or the changing gears and moving into that busier phase? Because it will come. Life is cyclical. It is cyclical. And regardless of where you are in the universe, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, top of the world, bottom of the world, it doesn't matter. The life cycle in each parts of our location are valid. And so we just have to remember and take stock that this is where the universe is right now. I think the key thing to remember is not to suddenly go into a fear mode or what have I done wrong? Where have I gone wrong? And then start to look to try and fix things, because things are probably absolutely perfect. We're just in a place where we need to contemplate, dig really deep. Look at the fears that come up in quiet times. This is when our fears become really noticeable. And so you might have to just take some time to really recognize those fears and find a tool that changes that fear into an opportunity. Remember, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. And so when we move out of fear, we can see clearer and we have the energy and we have access to our resources much quicker. Whereas when we're in fear, then we can't see any way out. So again, in this quiet time, testing our nerve, finding our inner steel, connecting to our own support mechanism will absolutely stand you in good stead for the future. And it is about just taking those opportunities to just, I suppose, take a deep breath and to just bring yourself inward. I think for myself, I have really enjoyed this time of stillness on a level that has helped me prepare for the launching of my new website. I've had room, I suppose, to think about what I'm doing, how I can do it in the best way of doing it and putting it forward to the public view. So the new website will be coming out in about 10 days time, I believe. We should have everything tried and tested and ready. So watch this space. Watch the YouTube channel. Will be changing names if it hasn't already. I think Sean has already changed our banner from the Phoenix Light Foundation to our new company logo and name. So there's excitement there that is born out of this period of stillness. It doesn't mean there isn't anything happening. It just means that it's happening on a much quieter, deeper, more grounded level. And if you've been someone who has had an unexpected event, whether it's been a good event or a worrying event, remember you have the tools deep within you to cope with that event. You've got the knowledge and the wisdom. You've probably got prior experience that you can pull forward and utilize and put into place that will then help you move through this unexpected event with clarity and with a sense of security. I was reminded today from a lovely lady in my networking group where I'd given a talk about expectations. Actually, I've done 2 talks on expectations this year. And she came and she thanked me because she has changed her mindset. And so her expectations are now different. And she's now seeing how her mindset has held her back. And so for her, she always expected the worst in her processes. And so if she hoped for the best and expected the worst, then what else could happen? So she's now changed all of that process to be a little bit more on the positive foot. So again, look at how you're thinking. How can you change the way that you think around particular situations in your life that will then change the vibration and open yourself up to new opportunities? So that's where I'm at this month. We've got our Reiki classes. They're in the newsletter listed as per usual, starting, we've got a Reiki 2 in a couple of weeks' time. And we have a lovely Reiki 3 class formulating together. So really looking forward to seeing the students in June. And as we move forward, you will see the new monthly meditations will be coming back on board in the first week of June. All of that will be listed in the new newsletter, but I will put out another email newsletter just after we launch the new website, just updating you on what is available, but I don't want to give too much away before we start promoting the new site. So until the next time, take care. Think about who you are, dig deep into the tools that you have, and I'm sure if anything unexpected has occurred, you have the right tools for the right time to deal with the situation in the right way. So until the next time, take care for now and be good to yourself and be kind. Bye for now.